Well, the struggle continues here at 9:30 p.m. here in my shop. And tonight I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to put a bunch of parts back together on this 1958 219 that I did not take apart. And let me tell you, this is the kind of situation where you find out before you put everything together that you're missing a part. And you go to yourself, well, that sucks. Now I have to stop and completely start over again. I also have to be extremely careful with this GoPro. Why? Because it is the most sensitive camera. I thought, we always think that buying the newest version of something is going to yield the best result. Well, in this case, with the GoPro, that's not the case. It does not yield the best result. I actually think I'd be better off getting a really old GoPro that has a pause button that's clearly defined. But there's always a sweet spot with technology. This car is a good car, but it is not the sweet spot with Mercedes technology. Everything on it requires a lot of work and research and struggling. And so it's no wonder that I feel tired all the time. I don't know. Is it like as you get older, are you supposed to feel tired every time you think of something you have to do? Because I'm really sick of feeling tired. I'm really annoyed with it. It actually, I don't know. It's like a point of contention with me and myself. It's like, can I get through the tiredness today? I wake up in the morning and I instantly feel incredibly tired. I want to go to work. I want to have fun at work. But then when I see a mess like this that I didn't create, by the way, I'm trying to fix this mess. So we got this car in disassembled, and there are a lot of parts that are not organized or categorized. And so, I mean, this is every car that we get in, right? People are wondering, oh, why don't you get my car in sooner? I'm like, well, because to some degree there's like a mess or a problem waiting. And I think most of us know that when you start a project that you shouldn't have started and you can't finish the project and you don't want to finish the project, in this case, the shop that started it, I think, took a pretty decent amount of money from the customer for not a great number of results. But, I'm not here to judge anyone. It's just when you throw in the towel, you've got to open yourself up for criticism, because nobody likes somebody who starts a project, charges the customer for doing said project, and then gives up and expects another shop like ours to finish it. That's called biting off more than you can chew. But, these sorts of projects have to get finished. They really do, whether it's this 280 SE that we've seen in other videos where the painter didn't check the hood alignment. And you know what? There's even more where that came from, because one of my own employees didn't really do his job either. There were a lot of items he left unfinished. So now it's up to me to finish them. The shop is relatively clean, so that's good. So I don't know, for the past 2 hours I've been staring at this car trying to find a piece of the wiper linkage that is missing. And now that I know that the piece of wiper linkage is missing, I can contact Mercedes and see if they have it, and if not, I'll just have to wait for one from Niemöller in Germany. So that's one thing that's driving me crazy today. One of several things, I guess. Somehow, though, we still managed to get some work done on this 280SL. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I was finally able to get a steering box built for it after the steering box self-destructed. That was really unfortunate. After we rebuilt the steering box, a piece of metal shrapnel got between the steering piston and the bore of the inside of the box, causing the sector in the box to jam. By the way, maybe Fairlife would be interested in a sponsorship. It's my favorite drink. This beautiful 300 TD is in here for some warranty issues. As usual, the AC compressor, because of not, I guess probably inconsistent use, lost a good chunk of its Freon. I think I'm going to switch away from my model of using NOS Delco compressors and just buy brand new Delco compressors that have the wrong clutch on them and change the clutches out. I think this is a more sustainable model. But then again, you never know. On this car today, we replaced the rear window regulators because they like to warp on 123 cars. They like to warp and chatter. And you can see the old regulators here on the bench in front of me where they get distorted. We actually put 126 regulators in and then adapted the little sliding jaw thing to fit. So I don't know if I'm going to throw these away or not. We'll see. Sometimes doing this stuff though gets old fast. You look at it and you're like, man, I wish there was like an easy solution where you could just call Mercedes, buy a window regulator for $150 for a 123 series car and put it in. But nope, they don't sell 123 rear window regulators. And when they did, they were like $405. And given how low quality these things are, I really doubt that $405 was the number it took to get one produced. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. Zero, nada, zilch. So some of you might wonder, why is this 219 not more back together? You know, especially if you're the owner of the car and you're watching this. And to that I can respond, well, when the car showed up, I was missing a connecting piece in the wiper linkage, which I mentioned earlier. And so in order for me to put all the heater pipes and all that stuff, instrument cluster fuse box back, and I need to put the windshield wiper mechanism, which goes right in here, in first. And if I don't have that wiper linkage, which is in the very bottom of the mechanism, I don't know why this is missing, by the way. We're just going to chalk it up to bad luck. It just goes right there to right there. I really can't put it in easily. You know, I don't know. Trying to put something like that in when the thing is basically flush with the bottom of the firewall is like, good luck. So I look at this car and I go, can I get anything done in this car? Progress is slow. I've tried to put this cover plate on the side of the engine. Right here. I think most of you can see there's a big void in the side of the engine block. And that void has a large plate that goes over it. And so the first time I over-torqued it and the gasket disintegrated. And when I say disintegrated, I mean disintegrated. The second time, this is the plate, by the way, that goes over it. So you have about 1,000,001 Phillips and Allen head screws. One of which broke off, which the previous shop had to drill out. I don't envy anybody having to do that job. That's a miserable job. And, You have to put it on and use aviation grade Permatex, which I called my machinist, who's the most wonderful man I know. And he explained to me that you have to use aviation grade Permatex to get the gasket to seal. And then you have to torque it very gently and go round and round and round all the way through. So that was a lot of fun. Let's talk about some philosophical stuff that I was thinking about. I don't really like talking about some of the thoughts that I have, but I think it's becoming more and more necessary as responsible citizens to voice certain concerns about things that, bother us or whatever. So I've been toying with this idea of moving my shop and my entire life up to the Hendersonville, North Carolina area. And to be honest, I think it's because I miss living in the mountains. I think I was happiest in my life when I was living in a mountainous area. Why? Because mountains are interesting. They're beautiful. They physically challenge you. They aren't just like the same thing when you look out at them. There are rivers there. You can follow a river, follow a stream downhill. You can go hiking. You could spend time in nature in a way that you really can't do it in Florida. In Florida, like hiking means going out and hiking in either, it's like 105 degrees outside and you're like, man, why did I do this? I'm covered in sweat. It's just not the life that it used to be when it was like rural and laid back. I don't know. For some reason, when I was single and I could go wherever I wanted and do whatever I wanted to do, Florida was magical because we have these big open roads and you could just go drive your car fast and go enjoy yourself. So I had a lot of fun driving my 280 SE 4.5 in my 20s. But now I have a child. I'm like, do I really want my child to grow up in Florida where everything is extremely sterile? It's sterilized. It's like if every day in Florida is like, this is the same book. Imagine if I had a shelf of all the same service manuals, all the same content. You're looking for a piece of information, but it's not, if you see one, you've seen them all. I don't know. I think there are certain parts of Florida that are not like that, but everything in Florida is extremely scripted. There are different scripts for different people, whether you're like the Latino guy with the huge beard and the enticing tattoos where you're trying to look all tough and macho, or you're the girl who's had some cosmetic improvements, who drives like a large SUV and is so into being a mom to her one kid, maybe two. Or you're Florida man and you work in a lawn crew or construction crew and you ride a motorcycle and that's what you're into. Or you just ride a motorcycle and you're into motorcycles and your wife's into motorcycles and all your friends ride motorcycles and all you do is ride motorcycles. And I guess if you're into that, that's great, but I can't follow the script here anymore. I don't get it. I don't understand why everybody here follows the script. That they're like perfect manicured lawn, their cookie cutter home. If you want to have a custom home in Florida, by the way, an interesting house, you either go way to the bottom end of the market and live with cockroaches in a very small 900 square foot space, which I did with my family for years. And it looks cute, but it's not. Or you pay $10 million and have a custom home built. And by the way, that's another stereotype. The rich tax refugee who's come from some blue state and decides that they're going to buy a pocket of serene land in Florida and destroy it with their ultra modern looking custom designed home. That's a thing too here. That's one of the other scripts. And not that I mind the scripts. I mean, look, everybody follows a script to some degree. It's just I don't like the scripts. They're not for me. They're not exciting. They're not interesting. Like, why do they even exist? And I know a lot of us we're here because we like the weather. I mean, it's nice when it's 42 degrees 150 miles north of you, and then down here it's like 63, and you're like, oh, those poor idiots freezing to death in the cold. But I'm at the point now where 35, 40 degrees doesn't bother me anymore. I'm more productive in that kind of weather than I am when it's like 75, 80 outside. 75, 80 is really starting to feel very hot to me now. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. But most people who live in Florida, a lot of my customers have second homes. They go other places. I don't really want to do that. I just want to go to a place and enjoy it and be there and raise my daughter in an environment where she doesn't have to learn her script, her like Florida citizen script, where she learns to be like I don't know. I don't even know where to start with like girls in Florida, teenage girls. I just don't think I want my daughter to become one of them because I don't know. I don't want to say anything that I might regret later, but I was at her school. You know, she goes to a Catholic school, really nice Catholic school. And I'll kind of close with this story. It was Halloween. They were having a Halloween party at her school. And I see like a couple of 14-year-old girls in middle school dressed up in their stupid Halloween costumes, wearing push-up bras with their cleavage exposed. And to me, that's like inappropriate, and it makes me cringe because I'm thinking to myself, first of all, whose kids are these? Like, why are you letting your kid run around not clothed properly? She's a representative of the school that my daughter goes to. She was literally representing the school. She goes to the school, and she's dressed like she's gone to a public school in Fort Worth or something. You know, and I've lived in Fort Worth. Trust me, the public schools there were really bad in the 90s. That's my go-to. So, like, why is your daughter dressed like that? You know, I don't get it. I don't want my daughter turning into that. I want my daughter to turn out to be like a wholesome person who knows how to grow things and raise animals and fix cars and repair her house and knows how to survive for a night if she's camping and, you know, goes to mass and has a good... By the way, some of you might be watching this who are not Catholic. I am a proud Catholic, so don't say anything in the comments. I don't want to hear it, okay? I've been through enough crap in my lifetime where I know that Jesus is watching out for me. I refuse to do anything but make a public confession of what I believe and what I hope my daughter believes when she grows up. But the point is, like, I'm just tired of the script. Like, I'm tired of Florida. I'm tired of being here. And I think that if I were somewhere where I enjoyed living, my life would revolve around just, like, getting more work done. Not that I'm not enjoying my job, but I feel this mental tiredness that's, like, pressing down on me. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. I know it's not always fun to hear people complain about things. I'm not really complaining. I'm just talking about why I can't get any work done. I'll see you guys in the future.